watch that again after many years. But just the reminder of returning home to our source, like the flowing stream returning to ocean. We form one body with heaven and earth and all things. Trust yourself in the nourishing and transforming care of the cosmos. Listen to the voice of love in silence. You have heard the way. Return home in peace. Let us return home to our heart. That's what I think of. Let us return home to love. Let us shine our light. So my talk title today is Co-Creation with Love. And aptly for Valentine's tomorrow. But again, love, co-creating our life with love, as a feeling, yes, but also as the divine. To have that partnership. You know, last week Reverend Maggie talked about the inner life and that we all have a power within us, a force for good. And remember Star Wars? May the force be with you. Well, I believe that force is love. And that love is one of our principles in Science of Mind. And this principle of love grounds us. It gives us solid ground to stand on, doesn't it? I co-create my life with love. I invite you to say that with me. I co-create my life with love. What would that look like? Think about it. What would it feel like if you made that decision? Love is my decision. That's going to be a song we're going to hear at the end of my talk. Would you act differently and make different choices if you knew you were loved unconditionally and that you had a partner in the divine? I think I would. So how do we apply the principle of the universal truth of love in our life? Well, we're mindful of our actions and our thoughts, and we can use it through meditation too. We can tap into that inner small voice. Practicing the presence we talk about here is practicing love. And practicing love is practicing the presence. So years ago, a friend told me about this article that she saw about the word guidance. And I don't know who the author was, and if someone knows, you can let me know. And guidance, she kept looking at the word, and she saw G-U-I, dance. God, you and I dance. Guidance. Think about that. When we have guidance, it's a dance with the divine. When we have that inner guidance, it can be. I really like that idea. So in Proverbs in the Bible it says, "For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he." And our founder Ernest Holmes and Raven Charles Barker had a great comment about that. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Note, the Proverbs does not say that a man is as he thinks he is. Quite the contrary. It says he is as he thinks. And here's a vast difference. A person might imagine themselves to be very clever while remaining quite dull. But if his thoughts are brilliant, they will also be brilliant. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The heart, he says, stands for the center of consciousness, the point from which circulates everything that we are. It is said that Moses was led by the divine spirit into a high mountain and told that all the land that his vision could encompass, his feet could tread upon. This high mountain stands for an exalted place in consciousness. And as consciousness extends its vision, it extends the possibility of its objective experience. As we expand our consciousness. And we all have a mindset, don't we, that drives us to think in a particular direction. And a mindset is simply a collection of thoughts and beliefs that shape our habits and affect how we feel and act in the world. Our mindset affects how we see life. right? I mean, we know this. If you put on a pair of green glasses, you're going to see everything will be green because it's filtered through the green glasses that you're wearing. The same applies to our mindset. They create the reality, our mindset, what we perceive, and thus determine our attitude towards life. So what are you looking through? Because as metaphysicians, which we are, we know that until we can control our thinking, we shall never control the conditions of our environment. Ernest Holmes said, "The point of control is always within, and the wise one starts to assume dominion over their disorganized thinking. This is so much easier to accomplish when we realize that the spirit within us is urging us in that direction. That divine voice and urge within us wants the good for us. It's leaning us in that direction. I co-create my life with love." Let's say that again. I co-create my life with love. Take a breath with that. What if love was our religion? Listen to your heart. It also says in Proverbs, "Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life." The heart is the center of our divine love, and love at the center of our being produces calm, continuous pulsations of life, the inner life. And in the yogic tradition, the heart center is considered the midway point between Mother Earth and Father Sky. It's where we open to that divine intuition. And the heart is the healing balm for every inharmonious thought. It is. The heart will never lead you wrong. And we hear this. And think about it. So many of the wise teachers today, from Joe Dispenza to Bruce Lipton to Greg Braden, all talk about heart-mind coherence now. It's the big buzzword, the heart-mind coherence. And the meditation we just did was an example of that, how to bring a coherence into the heart and mind. So when we recognize that our heart is the center through which the love of Spirit flows to bless us, then we join in communion with that oneness, with the infinite intelligence, and we are set free. We are set free when we come from this place. I co-create my life with love. And in truth, when we say that, I co-create my life with the divine presence, it's the same thing. So what if we committed or made the decision to only think loving thoughts for one day? One day. I dare you. I dare you to take one day and give yourself that challenge. Only think loving thoughts. No complaints, no judgments, no or as Judy said, no growling. Today, I make the decision to only think loving thoughts. Does anybody want to try that? Tell me how it goes? Okay, good. Because remember this. The infinite wisdom within you never fails to respond to a loving heart and receptive mind. Never, ever, ever. So that infinite wisdom will always come forth when you come from that loving heart and a receptive mind. That's good news, isn't it? I'd say, hey, yeah, that's really good news. So in the Science of Mind textbook, for those good students, this is on page 478. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, has a beautiful description of love. And he's taken it from the Bible, in his own words, from John 13. And it says, love is the central flame of the universe, the very fire itself. It is written that God is love and that we are his expressed likeness, the image of the eternal being. Love is self-givingness through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human. Love is an essence, an atmosphere which defies analysis, as does life itself. It is that which is and cannot be explained. It is common to all people, all animal life, and evident in the response of plants to those who love them. Love reigns supreme over all. The essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything, fires the heart, stimulates the emotions, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. Only love knows love, and love knows only love. God is love, and love is God. So simple. Remember back in the 80s, there was a Japanese fellow, what was his name? Masaru Emoto, and he did experiments with water. Do you remember that? Some of you are nodding your heads, yeah. So he exposed glasses of water to different emotions, words, and pictures. And then he froze the water and viewed the water crystals later to see how, if they were all affected by intention and words. And so he would have, for instance, a glass of water, and someone would be in a room and would yell at the water and scream at it and tell it was terrible and who do you think you are, and show it violent pictures and just be really to this water. And then in another room, someone would have a glass of water and they'd tell it how beautiful it was and how loving and kind, and show pictures of the sunset or little babies or puppy dogs, and just have this energy of love and caring and appreciation to this other glass of water. And so when the experiments came out, it was quite dramatic, the difference between the crystals and what happened from the intention of someone speaking or even thinking negative or positive to this water. Do you remember this? It was in a movie. Wasn't it in What the Bleep or something, I think, too? This is a long time ago. So the idea was, he proved that it showed how our human thoughts and intentions can physically alter the molecular structure of water. And we're 80% water. Our being is considered 80% water. So that really wakes us up, doesn't it, to, whoa, what am I thinking? What am I saying? What am I speaking? What am I watching? Because it's affecting your biology, your neurology, your physiology, your psyche. I co-create my life with love. That's what I'm going to choose today. I co-create my life with love. And when I forget, I just can come back to that thought. So think about this question. What is the leading cause, do you think, of health and wellness? Yeah, I knew you'd say love. It's actually elevated emotions and positive and elevated emotions, which Reverend Maggie talked about a couple weeks ago, which includes appreciation, which is what we did in the meditation. Appreciation is a great way to start, and gratitude. Gratitude, if you can't feel loving towards something, you can find reasons to feel appreciative or grateful. They're great little steps to take you into that bigger arena. Because there's no question that we need to pay attention to the feelings of our heart. And the remedy for any fear of any kind is love, with a big L, capital L. And loving, kind thoughts remove tenseness and toxicity in the body, and it sends a new signal. It's tonic to the body. The love vibration is tonic, not toxic. Perfect love casteth out fear. Why? Well, because these elevated emotions are the magnetic charge that you're sending out into the quantum field of possibilities. So as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, the thoughts we think send an electrical signal out into the field, the quantum field, and the feelings and emotions that we have magnetically draw the events back to us. So my question is, what are you sending out? It's good to pay attention, right? So Dr. Joe says, if we combine an elevated emotion, a coherent heart, with a clear intention, a coherent brain, then we can be balanced and creative in our lives. But they have to work together. And I don't know about you, but sometimes my brain is saying one thing and my heart is like, wait, listen to me. What about me? I have a great idea. So it's really important to notice that dance that takes place between the heart and the brain. Guidance. If we can stay relaxed and come from our heart, come from our divine self, we can inform the brain then to imagine new possibilities, to consciously create something new, something life-giving, life-affirming. I co-create my life with love. Say that one more time with me. I co-create my life with love. Just see how that feels. So now let's talk about flashlights. Very spiritual subject. Flashlights. There's all kinds of flashlights, aren't there? There's little pen lights. There's this size light. Actually, that's a little bit better than that one. Interesting. There's bigger lights. Yeah. So we have all kinds of flashlights in our world, don't we? And how brightly we shine depends on how much we want to or are willing. So think about what kind of light are you sending out in your world? If any. You know, you might not be, and that's okay. But I'd like to think of ourselves as points of divine light. Love flashlights. Love flashlights. So are you a pen light? Do you give out a little bit of light? Or do you have a light that fills a room so that everybody can benefit and see your light and shine? Every day we have the opportunity to shine forth our kindness, our patience, our compassion, our forgiveness. Remember my dare earlier to only think loving thoughts for a day? Well, that's shining your light. And what if we started shining our light on the divine possibilities in store for us? I co-create my life with my love flashlight. What kind of light are you going to shine this week? Are you willing?
Yes.
Are you willing to maybe have a little bit brighter light? I don't know. I'm kind of not sure about that. But just pay attention to what light you are going to shine, if you are going to. Because what powerful statements and blessings of light would you like running through your consciousness each day? Oh, woe is me, ain't it awful? No. Ain't it awesome? I have something to work on today. I have something to work on today. So take a moment, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. And if you could shine a light on an old condition or an old belief that you're carrying and have a new thought about it, a new light, what would that new thought or idea be? Just ask yourself, if I could shine a light on this thing and have a new idea about it, what might it be? And how would it feel? How would it feel if you had a new idea, a new thought about that old thing? So I invite you to just consider which flashlight are you using And maybe get a bigger one and connect it to your heart. One that has power, big power, like that divine light within you that never goes out. Doesn't need batteries. Yay, it does not need batteries. I co-create my life with my love flashlight. Let's say that together. I co-create my love with my love flashlight. So I invite you this week for some homework is to pay attention to what kind of light you're shining, if any, and maybe turn it on. And to try that challenge of only having loving thoughts for one day. And when you use your flashlight, even a little light can go a long way towards supporting us in this thing called life. Yeah. Trust yourself in the transforming and nourishing care of the cosmos. Listen to the voice of love in silence. You have heard the way. Return home in peace. Let us return home to our hearts, to love, and let us shine our light. I co-create my life with love, and so it is.